Visuals on your screen, a new video released by the Russian media, which claims the Russian military has brought humanitarian aid to Izyumsky district of Kharkiv region. The much needed humanitarian aid to the people of Izyumsky in Kharkiv region. That's the latest news I'm getting to right now on the broadcast. Over to my colleague Priyanka.
Right, Crispino, we see now humanitarian aid that has been provided by the Russian troops. Once again, we see the kind of information warfare on the ground, where Russian media has now released another video of the Russian military that has brought humanitarian aid to the Izyumsky district of the Kharkiv region. Remember, Kharkiv, one of the biggest cities of Ukraine that had also experienced rapid bombardment and strategic bombing, airstrikes as well that had been carried out by Russia. And now we see humanitarian aid that is being made possible to reach to the civilians by the Russian troops on the ground as well. Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni also joins us on the broadcast. Lieutenant General, if I could come to you quickly about these visuals that we're playing out on our screens, what do you make of this kind of movement of the Russian troops on the ground? We have seen sporadic bombings that are being carried out by the Russian troops and also humanitarian aid that is being provided by them on the ground.
In my view, I think this is the time that the ceasefire will take place, because positively it's a very, very good indication, a realization by all, the Ukrainians also, that the Russians really meant the business and they were not against the Ukrainians per se. And that's very, very important, because Putin has all along been saying and claiming that Ukrainians are their brothers, and he does not intend any kind of harm to them. And therefore, all that the leadership of Ukraine was adamant, and probably they felt they were being instigated by the West to fight against Russia. And that was the reason why a lot of this arsenal and military equipment being provided to Ukraine. But now, with the climb down by Zelensky, the way he's gone about saying that, yes, he would not seek NATO membership, he would not even ask for Luhansk and Donetsk, that the entire Donbas region is willing to part with it for Russia, and also Crimea, if that be so. And that probably would be a climb down. And at the same time, the Russians have been insisting they were not keen to occupy Ukraine. They were there to make a point that they wouldn't want their security to be compromised with Ukraine becoming a member of NATO. And the kind of humanitarian assistance being provided, the humanitarian corridor being provided by the Russians to ensure that people left the war zone, and few lakhs of them have migrated to the neighboring countries. Few lakhs of them are also out in the open in areas of Western Ukraine. I think this should, and maybe with the talks tomorrow, and the kind of, I think the kind of environment that intends to change, because Ukrainian leadership itself, Zelensky himself feels that he has been, totally and thoroughly let down by the West, and that the West only instigated him and have used him and thrown. I think with that in point of view, if the normal, average, the Ukrainian personally, if he feels that yes, it would be better to be with the Russians rather than with the West, who have let them down very badly in this war, I think it's necessary. This kind of assistance coming from Russia for the Ukrainian people, I think is a good sign, and that's what I would look at it. Yeah.
Corridor that has been promised from Russia near the Donetsk Oblast region, and we now see Russian troops on the ground providing humanitarian assistance to the civilians as well. I thank you for joining us on the broadcast with that analysis.